you doing, all you rock stars out there? We're coming to you with the first installment of a new video series that we have temporarily named 5 Minutes with Menzel. The idea behind this new video series is I'm going to bring you a video once a month, and we're going to talk about maybe a training topic or some trends that we're seeing in the marketplace overall, or might even be just something about our own Hayden Homes world. But once a month, we're going to come to you with a message, hopefully giving you a springboard to discuss it in your sales meetings and get some good tools to put inside your toolbox. Now, you might have heard me say it's temporarily called 5 Minutes with Menzel. Now, that name's okay, other than my name's in it. So we want to change the name. And so the very first thing I'm going to announce is our first ever Name the Video series contest. So over the next week, think about a name that would be great for this video series, send it into Morgan, and the name that we select, that person will receive a great prize. Let's talk about this month's topic. This month I want to talk about the importance of consistency in our sales plan. It's hitting our sales goals. Simply put, I want to introduce the concept of every community, every week. If you think about it for a minute, on the sales floor, we sometimes break it down to the ridiculous. It's a technique that all of you know. That homeowner is looking at that home that's just the next price point, and we break down to them, it's only this much a year, this much a month, this much a week, this much a day. If you just skip that cup of coffee once in a while, you can be in your beautiful new home. Thinking of that, I thought we would take our sales plan and break it down in a similar fashion. You, of course, think about your sales plan in your individual community. Your sales manager is thinking about the sales plan for the overall region. And I, of course, am constantly looking at where we are with the sales plan for the company at any given moment. This is the time of year when some things start to slow down a little bit. We're coming out of the spring selling season, and we're moving into summer. We have the natural high of the spring selling season, and as we all know, home building is cyclical each year. We start to then slow down a little bit in the summer months, which is where we really have to work hard, and then it starts to pick back up a little bit in the end of the year, towards October. So the importance of hitting your sales plan consistently every month is most important during the slower months. This is the time of year where maybe we've sold in a community a little ahead of schedule and we don't have as many home sites remaining, and that may affect our sales plan. Or maybe it's one of the communities where a plat is waiting to be recorded and we thought we'd have it 30 days earlier and it's going to be another 30 days. Sometimes happens. Or maybe you're just having a slow month and you're not hitting the sales that you need to hit in that month. As an overall team within your region, we cover for each other in those circumstances. That's why it's so important that we're hitting our plan every month. Every community, every week. If you think about it this way, if you have a sales plan of 4 in a given month, ideally you're going to sell a house week 1, a house week 2, week 3, and week 4. Think about how you feel when that's happening. I've got a sale each week leading to my 4 goal. That feels pretty darn good. Now think about how you feel when week 1, I didn't get a sale. Week 2, I didn't get a sale. Now I'm sitting in week 3. I've got 2 weeks left to get 4 sales. The pressure starts to mount. The pressure you put on yourself is intense. There's no way you can escape that pressure completely. So when you're feeling that pressure, ultimately it leaks out to your customer. You're not going to be at your very best, therefore you're not going to be able to provide the best experience if you have additional pressure on yourself. So let's focus on making that sale every week. If you're on a sales plan of 2, then that means you have to have half a sale every week. Jeff, how in the world can I have half a sale? As sales professionals, we know when we have half a sale. We realize when we're working with a client that we know is along the right path, we're just not to the finish line yet. We realize and sense within ourselves that I need another week to bring this person across the finish line. That is every community, every week. If you're hitting your plan every community, every week, that's going to allow us to stay on track, and it's going to allow us to make up for some of those other situations I mentioned. If one of your teammates is just having an off month, you're going to be able to pick up the slack in that given 30 days. Because we all know eventually those tides are going to turn and you're going to run into a little bit of a slow period where you have a little bit slower month and are going to rely on your teammates to carry the region through. I want you to think about it from another perspective as well. When we don't operate with every community every week, it leads us to being short at the end of the month. Let's go back to our example of 4 sales in a given month. If you can only bring in 3 of those 4 sales, you might be thinking to yourself, that's not good, but it's not awful. I got 3 of the 4. I only missed by 1 sale. And you're right. It's not ideal, but it's not awful if it were one community. And as you see it, it's your community. That's what you should be focused on. Your sales manager and regional director are looking at all the communities, and we're always looking at the overall company. So if we have just 1 missed sale in a community times 50 communities, 50, because we operate with an average of 50 active communities, now that's 50 sales that we missed. So instead of missing just 1 sale in one community, we've missed 50 sales. If we're on a sales plan of 125 for a given month, we just delivered 75, and we all know that's not acceptable. So focus on every community every week. You can use our famous equation, T times C equals S, and you'll be able to calculate how much traffic you need each week based upon your past conversion to make sure you have your sales by the end of the month. That equation serves us very well, can be used in many different examples, and is very relevant when you're focusing on every community every week. The bottom line is this: we as a collective team have made a commitment and a promise to the organization based on how many sales we're going to deliver every month, every quarter, every year. By focusing on every community every week, we are not only going to make that goal, we're going to exceed it. My past experience has shown that usually when a sales team is so dialed in that they are focused on every community every week, they exceed their plans because we're just that dialed in. So that's the challenge I'm putting out to you right now. We're coming off an April that was slower than we would like to see. Now we're into May, leading into June. We've got to make sure we maintain our sales plan while making up the few sales we left behind in April. If we focus on every community every week, we will surely hit our sales plans, make up those few sales from April, and exceed our plans by the end of the second quarter and on into the rest of the year. Team, I appreciate you a ton. I know how hard you guys are working. We're coming together better and better every day. Our goal is simple. We are going to be the best sales team within the best sales team in the world. And to do that, we're going to start by focusing on every community every week. Have a great meeting. Have a great week. Give me a shout if you'd like to talk about any of these concepts in a little more detail. Can't wait till I see you soon. Happy selling.